Plate tectonic model project. Convergent boundary. Oceanic and continental. When a continental plate and oceanic plate collide, it creates a subduction zone where the more dense oceanic plate slides under the less dense continental plate. This movement creates two things: volcanic mountains and trenches. Since convection currents in the astrosphere are causing these plates to move, one of Newton's laws of motion, inertia, is acting on the plates. Convergent boundary. Oceanic and oceanic. When an oceanic plate and another oceanic plate collide, it creates a subduction zone. This creates trenches and island arcs. Since there are convection currents acting on the plates, it is an example of inertia, one of Newton's laws of motion. Convergent boundary. Continental and continental. When a continental plate and another continental plate collide, it creates folded mountains. Since there are circular convection currents acting on the plates, it is an example of inertia, one of Newton's laws of motion. Divergent boundary. Oceanic and oceanic. When an oceanic plate spreads apart from another oceanic plate, it is called seafloor spreading. This movement also creates a mid-ocean ridge. With this plate boundary, the convection currents rotate away from each other, so this means that the plates will keep moving apart unless acted on by an outside force. This is an example of one of Newton's laws of motion, inertia. Divergent boundary. Continental and continental. When a continental plate and another continental plate spread apart, it creates a rift valley. There are convection currents underneath the plates causing them to move away from the other unless they are stopped by an outside force. This is an example of one of Newton's laws of motion, inertia. Transform boundary. Continental and continental. When a transform boundary occurs, one continental plate slides along another continental plate. This causes a shearing force and then creates a fault line. When the force applied to the plates becomes imbalanced and then causes an earthquake, this occurrence can be classified as the law of action-reaction, one of Newton's laws of motion.